When I was in the process to run for bishop, I kept a journal with me. And I would constantly make notes all the time, things that came to mind, ideas that I had, because one of the things that was in the profile was that they wanted to see a vision set for the future of the Diocese of Louisiana. And so I kept on coming back around to all the aspects that now comprise the umbrella ministry. And then I kept thinking about Francis Gaudet, who is in so many ways an icon for us, an inspiration for us 100 years later in the diocese, about her work, her ministry, her vision, her creativity, her courage. And so the more I studied her and the more I looked at these various aspects, I began to make these notes, and I realized that everything overlapped. You can't talk about racial healing. It has a component about care of creation and how that affects the most vulnerable. And then having our children understand about these various aspects. And then inclusive Louisiana and Latino Hispanic ministry, and all these different pieces that seem to have a common thread and an interaction, and that if they were siloed, they were less effective and less meaningful for us as clergy and as people in the Diocese of Louisiana. So began to kind of see this as an umbrella ministry. And then bringing Tamika on staff and her creativity and visioning and working with my staff, everything just came together in this really beautiful way.
My name is Tamika Gerhardt. I am the Francis Joseph Gaudet Missioner for Congregational Vitality and Beloved Community. Part of my role and my job with the Beloved Community is called the Gaudet Umbrella. And this umbrella is more than just a ministry. It's a family of ministries. I oversee and support these 6 individual initiatives where I am able to bring collaboration and a sense of work, mission, and focus as a whole. The first of these ministries is the Environmental Evangelism Commission, which inspires a deep appreciation for God's creations, beauty, mystery, sacredness, and abundance. They are committed to raising awareness through education, worship, fieldwork, and policy initiatives. We also have the Francis Joseph Gaudet Fund, which provides scholarships and grants to enhance the education of African American children. The board is working on new initiatives, which include strengthening partnerships with organizations that advocate for juveniles in the justice system and support families affected by incarceration. Mothers Audra Rise and Jane Allison Wiggin head up the Gaudet Fund Committee. Here, they take us through historic St. Luke's Episcopal Church in New Orleans, a multicultural sanctuary and the National Shrine of Blessed Francis Joseph Gaudet.
At St. Luke's, we have this beautiful icon written in the traditional way of Blessed Francis Joseph Gaudet. You can see her title as both educator and prison reformer, and the scenes from her life and her life's work, her ministry, show both the Orleans Parish Prison and one of the dormitories from the school that she ran. And the scenes around are how important people were to her. Every single scene is her with young people or with those who are incarcerated.
Many churches have stained glass to depict the Lord's Supper. This one in particular has a special meaning because of the hands. We see the hands that are holding up the chalice and holding up the host is hands of color. This window is very significant because it is truly embodying what we know as communion people, as a community of God, that all are welcome to the table. It's particularly special to me being a person of color, being an ordained priest, and being able to have my hands and have the ability to give the gifts of God to the people of God, and that knowing that it comes from all of us, all of us.
Inclusive Louisiana supports LGBTQ+ within the Episcopal community alongside our allies. Our primary goal is to encourage and support our congregations and members in embracing and demonstrating God's all-encompassing love for LGBTQ+ individuals and those who stand by them. Our Latino Hispanic ministry is currently helping our parishes be intentional about reaching out to their communities while at the same time nurturing their personal growth. We want our parishes to have the tools and the confidence to connect with Latino Hispanic communities so that they are better able to share the message of God's love from an Episcopal context. Racial discrimination and inequality continue to pose significant obstacles in our society. As Episcopalians, we are called to practice reconciliation, striving for loving, liberating, and life-giving relationships with God and one another. The Racial Healing Commission will bring spaces for ongoing spiritual formation using prayer, worship, advocacy, intentional action, and education to become the beloved community. The Youth Leadership Commission is coming together to strengthen relational connections among youth and everyone who cares for them, clergy and lay people alike. It will provide church leaders with resources for educating and connecting with young people and host an annual signature event created and planned by church youth.
They will largely take over and tell us what it is that they're looking for, tell us what is holding them back from participating in some of the traditional church programming we've had, what would interest them and their friends, what kind of scheduling would work best for them. And we'll also have them acting as the people inviting other young people to the youth programming rather than a bunch of grown-ups making videos or flyers to tell you to come. To have your own peers inviting you makes a difference.
What brings me hope is having all of our ministries work together and collaboratively. As a family, we face a lot of the same obstacles. And I always thought to myself, if Ms. Gaudet was alive and she had our resources, she had our lay leadership, she had our funds, what would she do?
This is a way for you also as a diocese to say, okay, that interests me and how can I get connected? And to see how those relationships and interconnectedness between these different groups may speak to you. So we want it to be a way to say this is a new way for us to look at our outreach ministry, to invigorate our outreach ministry, and also to invite you to be a part of it.